Welcome to your mind-body connection. I'm Xandra, and for this Vinyasa flow practice, we will be incorporating a lot of balancing poses. So working on creating a strong foundation to create more stability as we work into balancing poses from our feet all the way into our hands. And as we come into this practice, not only are we building into our physical strength, but balancing poses are a great way to really focus your mind more into the present moment. And remember that your practice is also your training ground for life. So when it comes to poses that create that instability, that maybe feel challenging in the moment, we fall out, we do our best to get back in with more patience, more humility. And so that starts to reflect upon moments in our life where when we are unstable, when we feel uncertain, shaky, that we know that we can tap into this energy that grounds us into that with more ease. We are still putting forth the effort, but how can we soften and surrender into those moments as well? So that when you do fall, you get back in, you keep trying with an open mind and curiosity and this ability just to keep moving forward and doing your best. So before we get started, I did want to recommend grabbing a yoga block. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can even use a water bottle, but blocks are very helpful to bring the floor closer to you. So let's go ahead and get started lying on our backs. And just extend your legs long as you lie down. Arms can be by your sides or maybe resting your hands on your belly. And then just closing down your eyes and start to feel into the support of the ground below you. From the back of your head all the way down into your heels. And within the support, just start to relax your body, focusing your mind on the rhythm of your breath. Just noticing the inflow and the outflow of each breath that you take. And remembering that when it comes to balancing poses, there are many points of focus that we reflect upon. The muscles that we're engaging in our body, the points that are touching the mat and creating this effort of grounding down as much as possible. The muscles we are engaging to create more stability. The way in which we focus our eye gaze. The way in which we are breathing to feel more anchored, more grounded. And this effort to release the mental resistance that often arises when we are about to fall. We want to put forth the effort to try to balance. But if the fall is inevitable, can you feel yourself ease into that with more patience, more acceptance? Taking just one more round of breath here, the deepest one you've taken yet today. Now opening your eyes and just start to hug your right knee in towards your belly. We'll draw little circles with our knee now. So just noticing your range of motion within your hip. And then go ahead and go the opposite direction. Circles can be big, they can be small, whatever feels good for you. And then now interlacing your peace fingers around your big toe and start to lengthen your foot up towards the ceiling. So it's okay if you have to create a pretty generous bend into your knee here if you're tighter in your hamstrings. Maybe you can start to lengthen your leg and straighten it with each breath that you take, but feeling into this toe hold grip. So you're pressing your foot up into your peace fingers, but not getting so caught up on whether or not you can get your legs straight. Take just one more cycle of breath, feeling grounded from your back of your head all the way down into your left heel. Now hug your knee back in, and then we'll move into tree on our back. So working your right foot into your inner left thigh. Just let your right knee relax towards the ground. And then now reach your arms up and over back behind you. So creating a V shape with your arms, spread your fingers, and start to feel into this action of flexing through your left foot. So imagine that you're standing on the ground here within your left leg, hugging muscle to bone. Try to feel even longer through the spine as you reach up through the crown of your head and your fingertips. Feel into this dual action of pressing down into your left heel as you reach up through your hands. And then you're also pressing your low back into the ground to help stabilize and strengthen you into your core. Just getting familiar with the shape. How does it feel completely supported by the ground below you? Now release. And then we'll extend our right leg long. Start by hugging left knee in and then just drawing those little circles. And then go the opposite direction. There may be differences, big or subtle, from right to left side. Interlacing your peace fingers around your left big toe, start to lengthen your foot up towards the ceiling. So again, not forcing into it, ease into the stretch and release with your breath. We're maintaining those deep inhales and exhales in and out of our nose the entire time we practice. Your breath is the best indication of how these poses are unfolding in your body. Keep softening your eye gaze at one point above. How we look is important. We call this our drishti, where we soften our eye gaze to one point to help us focus our alignment of the pose. Now releasing into tree on our back. So bringing your left foot into the inner right thigh and just let your knee draw down towards the ground. Reach the arms up and over. And then that same kind of awareness, start to flex through your right foot. Imagine that you're standing through your right leg. So you're starting to feel that engagement of your muscles, hug into the bones. Low back is pressing down, front ribs hug back in space. And then we're continuing to lift and lengthen spine, arms, fingertips. Just a few more deep breaths. And release. Hug both of your knees in towards your belly. Rock a little bit from side to side. Now lengthen your legs up towards the ceiling and then bring your hands either next to your hips, palms down, or for a little bit more low back support, you can work your hands underneath your sacrum. Start to engage your core muscles. Feel the engagement of your legs as well. Hug muscle to bone. So keep this activation, flexing through the feet, spreading through your toes. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, lower just your right heel to a hover. So feel this L shape within your legs. Inhale, bring the right leg back up. And then exhale, lower your left leg. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So just a few more like that, just moving with your breath. And finishing out right to left side. Now release, just plant your feet onto the mat. If your hands are underneath your sacrum, lift your hips, release down now. adding on a little bit more challenge to create that stronger connection to our core. So lengthen both of your legs back up towards the ceiling. Interlace your hands behind your head now and lift your head and your shoulders up. So same action with the legs, hug muscle to bone, flex through the feet, spread through the toes. Now take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower the right leg to a hover. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So continue to move at your rhythm. If you do have tighter hamstrings, you can bend into the knees. Don't feel like your legs have to be straight here. Try to relax your head back into your hands. Continue to hug low belly in and up. Just a few more. Remembering that core strength is a great stabilizer in balancing poses. Let's do one more from right to left. And then release, let it go. Plant your feet down. Now lift your hips up towards the sky, bridge pose. And then release all the way back down. Knees buckle in, work your feet as wide as your mat, cactus your arms out, bending your elbows, and then just let your knees fall from side to side. Now draw the knees in, and you can rock and roll your way up to tabletop, or just roll over to your side and make your way to hands and knees. And then once we arrive there, we'll make sure that we are feeling into the strong foundation of our hands. So anytime you're balancing on your hands, you want to spread your fingers really wide and feel into pressing into the circumference of your palms and the knuckles of your fingers. So feeling that in tabletop as you stack your shoulders right above your wrist, hips above knees. So look down at your hands, spread the fingers, feel your palms press into your mat. Now inhale, drop your belly, lift the heart, cow pose. Exhale, rounding into cat, tuck your chin under. Inhale, belly drops, heart lifts. Exhale, round. A few more just like that, moving with breath. Now come back to a neutral position of your spine. Lift your right leg up and back behind you, coming into our spinal balance. Left arm comes forward, gazing down at one point. Connect to your drishti. And then bring that awareness into your right hand. Make sure you feel grounded there. And as things start to get a little shaky, unstable, remember your breath can help settle you in to the shakiness with more ease. Now take a deep breath in, fill up. Exhale, hug elbow to knee, round. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw in. Now lengthen back out, pause. And let it go. Take a brief child's pose, knees out wide, big toes together. And then as we come into child's pose, let's roll out our wrists. So come onto your elbows, lift your hands up towards the ceiling, make fists, and then just roll out the wrists. Now release down, take another deep breath in, full breath out. And arrive back into your tabletop. So maintain that awareness of your hands. Spread fingers wide, ground through the circumference of your palms, knuckles of your fingers. Feel into your core activation. And then now lifting your left leg up and back behind you. Right arm comes forward. Breathing more stability into your body. Soften your gaze to help focus your mind. Now adding on breath and movement, inhale deeply. Exhale, hug in. 2 more. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, strengthen. Now lengthen back out, last moment. And release, puppy dog pose. So hips are high, walk your hands forward, drop your head and your heart towards your mat, stretching into the shoulders. Now walking your hands back in, downward facing dog. Lift your hips high to the sky, lengthen your spine, drop your head towards the earth. Now on your next inhale, lift both of your heels up, feel into the balls of your feet, and then exhale, drop your heels down. Inhale, lift your heels, stretch your toes. Exhale, anchor down. One more inhale. Exhale. Now inhale, shift forward into plank pose, shoulders above wrists. Feel into the connection of your core. Inhale, shift a little forward. Exhale, slowly lower to your belly. Hug your elbows in on the way down. Cobra pose, tops of the feet anchor into your mat. Inhale, lift through the heart. Exhale, release down. Curl the toes, press back into plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale. Adding our chaturanga, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower just halfway. Keep that lift through your heart. Either lower to the belly for cobra or move into up dog. Arms are straight, thighs are lifted. Downward facing dog, lengthen your hips back. Breathe. Walk your feet all the way forward, coming into your standing forward fold. And as we come here, we'll bring that awareness into our feet. So your feet are your strong foundation in standing balancing poses. So lift your toes for a moment and then feel into the center of your heel, ball underneath your big toe, ball underneath your pinky toe, and feel grounded and even as you press into those 3 points. Now inhale, lift halfway, lengthen forward. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll continue to warm up through a few sun salutation A's, and we'll add some twists into our mountain pose. So trying to keep your hips more squared forward as you rotate into your spine. All right, inhale, reach the arms up. Now exhale, twist open to the right, left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, plant the palms, either step or lightly hop back, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath by breath, pose by pose. Take a deep inhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, either step or lightly hop top of your mat. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Continue to feel into the foundation of your feet. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Keep squaring the hips forward. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, vinyasa. If you need that extra support, drop your knees as you move through your flow. Keep checking in with your body's feedback. What feels best for you in each moment? Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, travel forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, recenter, reground, hands to heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, vinyasa, find your rhythm. But the slower and deeper your breath, the slower your transitions and alignment into the poses. So that is a wonderful thing, right? We don't want to rush through it because then we're rushing through our transitions and alignment, and we want to create those strong foundations within. Let's do one more. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, grow longer through your spine. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, vinyasa. Take a few moments to observe how you feel either in down dog or child's pose. What has shifted? What has changed? Do you feel more focused, more energized, strong, and grounded? From down dog, make your way forward, top of your mat. Inhale, create space, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, strong mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Now moving into our chair pose. So as you sit back into your hips, bending through the knees, feel the weight shift back into your heels. Lift your toes up and come back to that awareness. Center of heel, ball underneath the big toe, ball underneath the pinky toe. Strong foundation as we move into balancing poses. Now we're going to start to feel that as we shift the weight over into the right foot, and then just bring your left heel forward so it's very light onto the ground. You're bringing a little bit more stability in with the heel down, but we're starting to feel that shift more into our right side. Keep breathing deeply. Release your left foot, switch sides, so ground evenly through the foot, and then lengthen your right foot forward, lightness with your heel touching the ground. And start to feel into that strength that you are building through your body. Bring your foot down and then just release to your forward fold. This time we'll interlace hands behind the back. Start to feel more into your shoulder and chest opener here. Possibly working your arms up and away from your low back. Now release your hands down and move through your vinyasa. Remember, those can be optional at any point. Now inhale, right leg high. Exhale, shift forward, hug your knee in towards your chest, round your spine like cat pose. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, step your foot in between your hands, drop your back knee, keep your back toes curled. So working a little bit of balance here, using now our right heel as the stabilizer. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, shift your hips back, start to straighten through the front leg, lift your toes, sweep your arms back, come about halfway. So think half splits here. Inhale, come back into your lunge. Exhale, shift back, hinge forward. Inhale, one more time, lift. Exhale, take your hips back, sweep your arms back. Now come back into your lunge. Hands come down, lift your back knee, and then rotate open. Right arm up towards the sky. Now release down, move through your flow. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, step forward, drop the back knee, keep your back toes curled under, and then lift and lengthen through your torso. So strong foundation through the feet, through the back knee. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, shift back, come onto the heel of your left foot as you draw your arms back and come forward through the upper body. Inhale, rise, reset into your lunge. Exhale, shift back, hinge back. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, half splits. Now come all the way back up, lift and lengthen. Hands come down, lift the back knee, twist open. Now release all the way down, move through your flow. See every vinyasa as a clearing out from side to side, as a reset for your mind. We are doing our best to find that flow state where we are taking it moment by moment, breath by breath. Let's travel to the top. Once again, standing forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Coming back to your chair pose. Okay, so now working into more balance here. So we're shifting the weight over into our right foot. This time, left heel hugs into the glute. You can always reach your arms up. Sometimes I find it more helpful for balance just to keep your hands at your heart. Release your foot, switch sides. So maintaining that awareness, right, of that foundation of your foot, root down there. Connect to your core, connect to your breath, soften your eye gaze at one point. All super helpful when it comes to balancing poses. Now release down, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, Vinyasa, arriving back into your down dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, step forward, this time high lunge. So strong foundation through the feet. As we rise up, we are balancing on both feet, right? Even with both feet down, we may feel a little wobbly. So maybe you widen your stance here to create more stability. So similar action that we did before in our low lunge with our back knee support. Take a very deep inhale, fill up. And then exhale, hinge back with your hips. Sweep the arms back, come about halfway. Inhale, come all the way back up. And then now as you exhale, hands come all the way down. Lift your left leg up, standing splits. So we have lots of options to explore here. Maybe your hands are on your block or water bottle. Maybe one or both hands come to your right heel to challenge your balance more. Don't worry about how high you can lift your left leg. We're working into balance, hamstring, stretch through the right leg, but we're also building into the strength of our right leg as we try to balance on it. Now take a big step back, high lunge once again. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, spin your back heel down, open up, warrior two. Make those adjustments with your feet. Typical alignment, front heel to back heel or back arch. As much as you reach forward, reach back. Align your shoulders above your hips. Bring energy into your arms and soften your gaze over the right fingertips. Inhaling a little forward, flip the right palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Option to work into the half bind within your left arm. But create more space into your right side body. More space into your right ribs, right lung. Breathe. Come back, warrior two. Triangle pose. So bump back through the left hip. Lengthen forward, then stack your shoulders. Gazing wherever it feels best for the neck. Keep checking in with the quality of your breath. That is your anchor. Now come all the way back, warrior two. Windmill the arms all the way down. Low lunge twist, left hand down, right arm high. Now plant down through the left hand, drop the left knee, work your left foot a little bit behind your left knee, and then sweep your right leg back, supported side plank. Now start to extend the top arm up and over, creating that balance between effort and ease. Can you feel that in this moment? Now we're working all the way back into our plank pose, optional vinyasa. Now the second side is always the side of wisdom. We know where we're going, but we are doing our best to stay open and curious to a new experience. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, step forward, high lunge. Take that moment to build your pose from the ground up, right? Strong foundation. You would never build a house starting roof down, right? Same concept with our poses. From that foundation, then everything builds upon that. We feel more spacious, more expansive. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, shift your hips back, straighten through the front leg as you draw the arms back. Feel that lift through the heart. Inhale, come all the way back, high lunge. Now transition, standing splits. Shift the weight forward into your left foot. Right leg lifts high. And play to your personal edge. Notice when the mind wants to stay in the comfort zone of stability and certainty. Right? We are here because not only are we exploring our yoga practice, but how can these lessons then evolve into our life as well? When things get uncertain and shaky, can we stay focused and grounded, breathing our way through it with more ease? Now take a big step back. High lunge, inhale. Warrior two, exhale, making those adjustments as you open through the hips and your arms. Notice if you're really leaning forward, try to reach evenly from left hand to right hand. Now inhale, lean a little forward, flip your palm, exhale, reverse warrior. So maybe the half bind feels good for you. Bring that in. Create even more space now into your left side body. You're doing great. Inhale, come back, warrior two, setting up for triangle pose. Bump back, lengthen forward, then stack your shoulders. We rise all the way back, warrior two. Windmill your arms all the way down, low lunge twist. Now stabilize through the right hand so you're feeling grounded and steady there. Bring your right knee down, angle your right toes behind your right knee, and then sweep your left leg back. So we're using that strong foundation through our right hand, connection to our core, deep, steady breath, focused mind to feel more balanced. Now return back into your plank pose and then move through your flow. All right, take a moment. If you need some water or child's pose, now is the time to take it. We will now add on some more balancing poses to our flow. Now coming back into down dog, take a deep inhale. Exhale, travel forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Coming into our balancing chair. So as we sit back into our hips, bend through the knees, find a focal point on the floor in front of you, and now shift the weight into the balls of your feet. And feel your toes here, ground into your mat. Now very slowly lower all the way down onto your heels. And then once you arrive, open your knees. Now you may just reach forward into your malasana or give your crow pose a try. So now we're balancing on our hands. So that strong foundation we felt in our tabletop, in our supported side plank, we're bringing that in. And then you're feeling into your cat pose as you round the spine, hug low belly in and up. You can work your knees to your outer arms, or for some of us, it feels good to bring the knees to the backs of the arms. So really up to you. And then shift forward, gaze forward, and then maybe you lift one or both feet. And you can practice just kind of shifting back and forth. But if you have found your crow pose, you're using your fingertips, try not to hold your breath, breathe deeply. Last moment here, you got it. Now you can try to hop back into your vinyasa, or just step back. Make your way to your down dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step forward into your high lunge. So take a moment, feel into your right foot. Imagine that you have roots growing there. Now hinge forward, sweep the arms back. This time, warrior three, we're lifting our left leg up. You can always switch up your arm variation, right? Maybe you go out to help counterbalance or forward for a little bit more of that shoulder strength challenge. Hands can always come to the heart as well. But just breathe. And remember, if the fall is gonna happen, right, we want to create the effort to try to still balance, but we don't want to be overly resistant in our mind to the fall when it happens. So no judgment, you just get back in, you keep trying. Now take a big step back into your high lunge. Inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, set up for triangle pose. Land as you exhale. One cycle of breath here. Now gaze down. This is where the block can be helpful. Shift forward, lift your left leg, half moon pose. So maybe you're barely using your fingertips against a block or the floor. But I like to use a block because we want to maintain the length through the right side body. So sometimes when we reach for the floor, we collapse into the side body. So maybe you use that prop today to help expand and lengthen you through the upper body. Just keep playing to your personal edge. Right? The longer we hold it, the more challenge arises in the body, but we got this. We're breathing, we're feeling our way through it, and we're just doing the best that we can. Stay humble, stay patient. All right, big step back. Warrior two, take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, windmill the arms all the way down. Low lunge twist, left hand down, right arm high. Now you can bring your left knee down like we did before, or now we're transitioning into our full side plank. So outer edge of left foot is part of our foundation. And rather than collapsing into the left shoulder, use your core, use your hips to lift. Get some of the weight out of your left shoulder and just breathe, doing your best to balance. So foundation is back into our left hand again. And then release, mindfully move out of it. Child's pose. Let's just give our wrists and shoulders a little bit of a break. And then moving back, down dog, left side, going with the flow, doing your best. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step forward, high lunge. Root to rise. Now hinge forward, sweep back, take flight. Imagine that you have roots growing out of your left foot. You're still feeling into center of heel, ball underneath the big toe, ball underneath the pinky toe. Play around with your arm variations. But remember, all those components are very helpful with balance when we can integrate them all. The breath, how you're focusing your eye gaze, connection to core, strength through your standing leg, and not being overly resistant or judgmental if this feels hard today. Try to find lightness as you land. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, setting up for triangle. Land as you exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take your time, no rush, half moon pose, shifting forward. Maybe you have your block, maybe not. You can always just take away that support. Challenge yourself a little bit more. So our edge is a great place to learn and grow, where we do feel some challenge, but we're not pushing ourselves too far. Keep breathing. We transition back, warrior two, inhale. Exhale all the way down, low lunge twist, right hand plants, left arm reaches high. Now take your time, stabilize through the right hand and right shoulder. Option to drop the right knee first as we did before. Otherwise, spin onto the outer edge of your right foot, stack your feet, lift through the left hip, left shoulder. Try not to collapse into your right shoulder too much. It's okay to be shaky. Just breathe into it. It's all good. We're not here forever. Last moment. Now slowly release, puppy dog pose. Drop your knees, keep your hips high, walk your hands forward and just stretch through the shoulders. Just a few more balancing poses. Make your way back, downward facing dog. And then travel to the top of your mat. Now having your feet about hip width apart here, similar action that we did on our back at the very beginning. We'll start to interlace our peace fingers around our left big toes. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Bend into your knees as much as you need to here as we start to transition all the way up to our one-legged mountain with our leg extension. So start with that bend into the left knee. Slowly start to lift up to standing. It's okay to wobble. It's all good if you fall. Just keep moving forward. Keep trying. Now we are lengthening forward. I find it helpful to create that counterbalance through the right arm, extending it out. Remember, try not to force the legs straight if you're not quite ready for that yet. Breathe. Last moment. Now start to hug your left knee in and then open into tree pose. So I know it's challenging to balance on one side for an extended period, but you're just doing your best, right? So foot is either above your knee into your inner thigh. You can also bring it closer down or even ground through the foot against the ankle if you need that in this part of the practice, okay? Lastly, grow tall through the arms. So that similar feeling that we felt on our back, you're grounding down to then lift and expand up. Last moment here, breathe in, breathe out, and then just release. Bring left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly, close your eyes, and just check in with the lessons that have come up for you in this practice. The lessons of patience, humility, not taking ourselves too seriously, meeting ourselves at our edge, staying open in the mind and the heart for whatever arises. Every experience is meant for you. And just take a moment of gratitude for how amazing your body is, all that it does for you, not just within your yoga practice, but within your life as well. Now opening your eyes, and remember, sometimes that moment of gratitude is all it takes to shift your perspective. So let's keep that mind and heart open. Gratitude for whatever comes next. We'll make our way back into our standing forward fold. Second side, maybe you find more ease, maybe you find more challenge. Every moment is a lesson. So now we'll interlace our peace fingers around our right big toes, left hand to left hip, and we're not rushing to get up, right? Slow and steady. You're grounding down through your left leg. Keep focusing at certain points on the way up. We start with a bent knee to then lengthen our spine as much as possible. Now start to press forward into your peace fingers with your big toe. Knee can be bent a little bit or a lot, and then maybe you add that counterbalance in. And again, in life, things get shaky, unstable. And this kind of grounding, centered energy that we're creating here, this patience, this ability to just get back up and try again if we fall, we weave that into our lives as well. Now start to hug your knee up and in, tree pose. So you decide, place your foot either above the knee or below it, what feels best for you at this part of your practice. And then lastly, we'll reach the arms up. Keep gazing at one point. Feel into the sway, the wobble. We're not going for perfection when it comes to balance. Now release. Amazing job. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, Vinyasa or down dog. Now making your way onto your knees, and we will be practicing handstand hops, possibly getting into handstand. So if you do want to move over to the wall, feel free to do that. But bringing this full integration back in of foundation is through the hands. We're really using our fingertips to help balance. We're also thinking that same awareness that we brought into our core work when we are scissoring our legs in that L shape as we hugged low belly in and up, front ribs back in space. So all that plays into your handstand. And just being playful with it, open-minded, right? I encourage you to do it at the wall to build into confidence. Otherwise, give it a go in the center of the room. Falling out of it is just as important as trying to balance in it. So I do recommend trying to cartwheel your way out. Sometimes, we start to really work and topple over all the way back. And again, if we can kind of twist a little bit into that cartwheel instead, I feel like that's a great way to fall out of your handstand. But coming into your down dog, and then we're taking a shorter stance here with our down dog. So bring your big toes together to touch, and then look in between your thumbs and start by lifting your right leg up. And maybe you're just practicing little hops at this point. Okay, that is a great way to just feel your way into that shifting forward into your hands. Otherwise, if you want to try to start to hop into it, that L shape with your legs I find to be helpful. But everything is engaged, the legs, the core, that will create lightness as you try to hop up. So giving it a go. And some days we really land handstand, other days not so much. It's all good. And then once you do lift up into it, I like to flex through my feet, hug front ribs back, engage core, and then we'll take a moment to rest between sides. And turning our world upside down, so good, so energizing, shifting our perspective, all wonderful things. Not just in yoga, but in life as well. Okay, we will have a dominant side that feels easier, but we are going to do both legs. So left side, here we go. Shorter stance down dog, big toes together to touch. Gaze in between your hands. Lift your left leg. And again, the activation of hugging muscle to bone, engaging your core will create lightness. And you can work even a little bit more forward if you need to. But maybe you're thinking your L shape, hop. You can stay there or try to work your legs together. All right, and there's that cartwheel out. So thinking about that as you come in. So take your time with this. Maybe you found your handstand. Maybe you are just ready to let it go and rest. But take a moment then in child's pose when you're done playing around to slow back down the rhythm of your breath, your heart rate, but just noticing this new surge of energy that's running through you. And then now making your way up and onto your seat. So a little balancing seated pose, boat pose. So we want to find that point in between our sit bones and our tailbone as we come into our boat pose. So start by grabbing onto the backs of your legs, lean back, lift your legs, and you can stay here or start to reach forward. Maybe straighten through the legs. Feel this action of hugging low belly in and up. Lift through the heart. Soften your shoulders and your eye gaze. And then lastly, just spread through the toes, bring some energy there. Maybe you're shaking with me. It's all good. 2 more cycles. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then soles of your feet together, knees butterfly out. Drop into your bound angle. Just allowing your head to move its way towards your heart center. And then now coming all the way up, plant your feet, hands come behind you, and then just lean back for a moment, cross right ankle above your left knee, and then press your chest towards your shin. Feeling the stretch into our outer right hip. All of our standing balancing poses build a lot of strength into our glutes, our hip muscles. So this should feel really good. Last moment here. Now maintaining this cross above your knee, start to work your left foot over to the right and then plant your right foot down as your left knee comes down. Right hand behind as your back support. Inhale, reach up, lift up, and then exhale, rotate and twist. We're never twisting so deep that then we lose the ability to breathe deeply, right? You're compressing into your belly and your diaphragm. You want to make sure that you can still breathe with ease here. Now let that go and we'll switch sides. So plant your feet down, lean back, and then crossing left ankle above the right knee. Press forward through the chest. Relax your shoulders. Even close your eyes here if that feels good. Take one more deep breath in. Full breath out. And then working your right foot over to the left, plant your left foot down with the right knee. Left hand behind, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, twist. Now release, come through to center, plant your feet and make your way all the way onto your back. And then just lengthen your legs up towards the sky. You can grab onto the backs of your legs or maybe you're grabbing hold of your toes. But bringing some gratitude into our feet for all they did for us in our yoga practice, keeping us strong and anchored as we balanced. And also your feet help move you forward in your life. To explore, to run, to dance, to hike, to do yoga, all these wonderful things that keep us active and healthy. Now release your feet all the way back down. Bridge pose, hands next to your hips, heels close into your glutes. Inhale, lift your hips up towards the sky. And release your hips down, happy baby pose. Grab onto the bottoms of your feet, peace fingers around big toes, or even just backs of knees. And then draw your knees closer to the earth as you rock from side to side. And then now release and make your way into your Shavasana, your much deserved moment of rest and recovery for all the good work you did here on your mat. And maybe you maintain a deeper rhythm to the breath, or the breath can return to its natural rhythm. Feeling your way back to gratitude for all that your body could do for you in this practice. And also being grateful for those moments of challenge, because that is potential for growth, exploration, change, and also acceptance. And as you rest here, you are allowing the benefits of this practice to connect to every part of who you are. And maybe this is one of the rare moments in your day that you just allow yourself to be here now. Now, if you do have longer for your Shavasana, I always encourage you to stay. If you are ready to re-enter into your world, into your day, start to bring a little bit of movement back into your body. And then rolling over onto your side. And then just notice how you feel now. More balanced, more grounded, more patient, more focused and energized. Now pressing up to a comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, bringing your hands to your heart center. And then just bowing to yourself with a lot of love and appreciation and gratitude for who you were, for who you are, and for who you are continuing to evolve into. As always, I am so grateful that you decided to join me for this practice today, and that I got to guide you through this Vinyasa flow, focusing on balance. I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you soon.